Hello and welcome to the U-Shaped Business Show, where we feature self-employed business owners who run innovative, unique, and personal businesses. I'm your host, Patty Kay, and today I am super excited to welcome Tequila Dodard to the show. Welcome, Tequila!
Thank you, Patty, so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Excellent. So, how about we jump right in and how about you tell us all a little bit about your business? What do you do? Who do you serve? How do you help people?
All right, absolutely. Well, I am the founder, if you've not already listened to it, Standout BU podcast, as well as my business. I'm the founder of Socially Stand Out. And what I do within my realm of what I've created here inside of being online is I help individuals run their online operations.
Mm,
And what I like to do or like to say is I help you free up your time so that you're able to focus more so on the high level areas, and that is your clients as well as growing your business.
right. So, what kind of stuff do you take off of people's hands for them?
Yeah, usually what I like to do when I take on a particular client is I like to really dive deeper into what their overall goal is. So let's rewind a little bit so I can get the premise behind this. I was corporate America, full on, like a lot of individuals say, the six figure, so forth and so on. And my career was my baby. And I decided later on in my career, as I got older, to finally start a family or find the guy, start a family, everything all in one. And when that happened, it came to a point where it was time for me to separate from the corporate world. And we decided to go along with my husband's career. And when we did that, it was hard in the beginning, but yet it was rewarding because I had the kids. Well, fast forward a couple of years. Of course, I've always been business, so I absolutely love business and anything that is around growing and growth and budgets, anything like that. So I decided to start going back in and finding out what I could do. So what my family for us decided, instead of going the traditional route of going back to corporate America, because I started looking,
Mhm.
and based on situation, because we've not lived in America in almost 7 years, I had to figure out what I could do to get back to where I was. Well, reality had to set in for me. There was no way I was going to be able to get back to the top of the top of the group of where I was before. So I decided to really grow what I already had been doing on the sideline from being in
Mhm.
corporate America. Is I always had some type of online type of side gig, making some kind of like little money.
Yeah.
And it started out, well, I did a lot of writing for
Mhm.
individuals. And what my husband and I decided is, like, you've been doing that. Why don't you try to make that bigger? So what I did was I said, you know what, how can I get into this world, this online world, and grow this? It was not easy.
Mhm.
And fast forward years from when I've been doing it in the past, just as a side gig, it is way different today than it was. And just to let individuals know, I was born before the internet, and I was born before all this social media. So I was like, okay, it's way different than when I first started. Even websites, all of that. I've built my own websites. I did it when you had to do the HTML. All of that I had to learn because the internet was really just starting.
Yeah.
So what I did was I sat back and said, what skills from corporate America and what skills do I have that I'm really good at that I can pull together? And that's what I did. I pulled all that together and I decided to wrap it around my business that I have today. Now, getting back to your question, what I provide for others is I kind of go along with what I did. What are your skills? What are you trying to do? But I couple it with, what is your dream? Are you where you want to be right now? Because that's my mission. Because I've had the opportunity to step outside of corporate America and really open my eyes. Because sometimes when we get in that routine of the cycle every day, we tend to put blinders on and we get set in this routine. Well, I like to kind of break people out of that routine and kind of wake them up and say, hey, what was your dream? What did you dream about doing when you were a little boy or a little girl? Are you there now? So once doing that, I wrap that around their overall operations, because it's important to me to be able to work with individuals who have that energy, who have that dream that's awake, and who haven't given up. They really still want to go after that. And even if you're a 9 to 5, I have clients, but I also have clients that are entrepreneurs completely online. But if you're 9 to 5, that's what I do. I take on the operations where it be your website, and I believe in you having your website. Facebook, all the social platforms are fantastic to have, but those are branding like platforms. Your real estate is your own website. So I help you start that website and then build that website out as if it's a company that's online, wrapped around your overall goal, your overall vision, your overall dream, your ideal client, and where you want to go in life.
Excellent. So that's sounds like a really kind of a holistic approach in a way.
Yeah, and it took me some time, Patty, to be honest with you, to get there. And that's kind of why I started the Standout BU podcast in capturing other solopreneurs, because I wanted to get the background of solopreneurs. What's your story? How did you get here? I didn't want to hear that you're already making the millions or the 6 figures or what all that we always hear online, all of these things. I want to hear the hard parts. You know, how did you get to where you are right now? And Standout BU was a little bit for me, but it was a little bit for you as well. So I call it like a community type of thing that I'm trying to do here, because when you get online, you become lost. Everyone is an expert. Everyone has a story. Everyone has something inside of them. We just have to pull it out. But when we get online, I don't know, we get a little bit off track, off centered, everything. So I was like, for myself, Tequila, reel yourself back in. You know who you are. Stand out. Be who you are. And then connect with the people who you want to have in your circle. And once I finally kind of got it, that's when I was like, I really want to reach out and help a lot of other individuals.
Right. So it's a personal branding thing, isn't it? It's like if you're going to stand out from everyone else, the kind of the logical way to do it is to be yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Because like we mentioned a little bit earlier, before we got online, I've again existed before the internet, but it's still the same offline. People connect to people, and people want to see who you really are, and when I say that, when I say, tell your stories, there's different layers to our story. And I know that we've heard that online. Tell your story. You don't have to go all in detail to personal stuff, because sometimes people don't really care. Well, you know what? Let's be honest. People really don't care about you. And I'm being honest, people care about themselves. So you have to figure out how you can help the other person love themselves more, and both of you, everybody works together. But people really want to know and relate and be attracted to like-minded individuals. So when you are being who you really are, it's easier for you to attract your audience. It's easier for you to give to your audience what they need. It's just a lot easier. And it's a whole. I know the personal branding is something that's out there, but I think, like you said, it's a holistic thing. You have to take an approach from every different angle, and that's kind of what I go after. I go after what's your story, and then how many parts of that story can we share? What are you comfortable with sharing? And I've had clients where they want to remain anonymous, and I've had to pull them out, and it's amazing to me personally what it's done to them when they do bring out the story, because they've even sometimes hidden it from themselves.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and they had shared something really quite personal, quite vulnerable about themselves. And I asked, like, what was the effect on your business, kind of thing, because it was kind of surprising. And yeah, he said, I got more business because of it. And it was just,
Yeah.
um, has that been your experience too? That when people open up and share those vulnerable moments, that people are attracted to that?
Yeah, I think so, because one of the things that, with having a business, you want to make sure that you've heard this, you're connected with you select your niche, you're connected with your audience. And when you're sharing things like that, you're attracting the audience that's going to be able to relate best to you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are trying to really service everyone and connect to everyone, you're going to end up not connecting to anyone. So I feel like it's the best strategy of today. It's just social media. You can't get away from it.
It's easier to be yourself. It's easier to remember to be yourself. It's like, yeah, I know what I think.
Yeah, and I don't want to dismiss the individual that is like, it's scary. Because even me to this day, sometimes I'm still like, oh my God, when I go live and I'm like, oh, but that's why my second slogan is, you know what? You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. Just go do it, Tequila. Just be you. And it's a scary thing, but it's uplifting, I think, internally for yourself, as well. And I think that it helps you to relieve those inner, like, I don't want to say, or skeletons, or whatever it is that you've got inside that you maybe that's keeping you awake at night, that maybe you can't even go to sleep. All of those things. I think when you are attracting your right circle of people, then you're going to live your good life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's exhausting to be somebody you're not, or to try to be somebody you're not.
Yeah, if you could see on my laptop here, I have it right here sitting in front of her, and it's always been my favorite quote is, be yourself. Everyone else is already taken.
Yeah, exactly. And nobody can compete with you when you're really you. I firmly believe that.
Yeah, and Patty, that brings up something else, like individuals, like I've spoken with individuals, they say, oh, well, I can't really start this business because I've seen like a million people doing it.
Yeah.
And you can't think like that. There are a lot of other individuals doing what I do, and they've got different labels.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. I mean, we have the labels. I was speaking with a friend to her yesterday, and she was like, "Gosh, people have like these labels. What's your title? What's this?" But in the end, it's like no one's you. So even if you're doing or you're offering that same service, or you're trying to do the same business, or you have this, that person is still not you. They are who they are, and you are who you are, and your delivery could be totally different from someone else, and someone can hear the same message, but because of the way you said it and your personality, they're more attracted to you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
We are so much on the same page with this. It's exactly what I see too. I look at business as kind of it's like matchmaking. It's we have the right service provider and the right clients, and when it's not a fit, it's just a sign, and it's like, oh, that's somebody else's client. It's
Yes. Yes,
and
absolutely.
that combined with kind of an abundance perspective that there's more than enough business to go around, I find is kind of a relaxing way to think about things in a way.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the other caveat to, everything that I want to do as far as the underlying layer of the business is, I'm a statistics person. So I always look at stats and things like that. And one of the things that I see, like for the US salary, for example, and it may have increased, but it was like 48,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's round it up to like 50,000. And you have individuals also that are working that as their full time, which I can't believe. That's very hard. And then you have individuals that are going to do part-time jobs to make up for that.
Yeah.
And what's heartbreaking to me is that's time away from what you really want to do. And what I'm on a mission is to help individuals spend more quality time with their family and their friends. So if I can help you figure out what that skill is, how we can absolutely build something around that skill, or just make extra income. You know, one of the things when my husband and I started, one thing I love is travel.
Mhm.
Okay, you can follow me on my Facebook page. You can follow me on my Instagram. We've visited over 20 plus different countries. And my husband and I said when my son turned 3, we want to take the kids at least to 2 different countries every year. And at Christmas time, we particularly like to take them to a different country to see how other people celebrate Christmas. And in order to do that, we needed extra income.
Yeah.
So I said, how can I do this? So what I like to do is break down individual circumstances. Where are you right now? How can we get extra money back in your pocket? Okay, great. We got the extra money back in your pocket. Now, how can we utilize some of the skills that you have right now in order to make even more, money or whatever it is that you need to do? And the other thing is to not be afraid of money. You know, when you have more money, here's what I believe is that you're able to help even more people. You know, you're able to help more. The more you have, the more you can help. So what I like to do is really sit individuals down and let's map this out. Now, if you're a client that is out of the gate, that you've been looking and you want quick fix, you've been seeing all this online, make $1 million, all of that, you are not my client. You're just not. Now, can I help you get there and strategize? Yes, because I have clients like that that are on that way or on that
Yeah.
path. But that's a different strategy. It takes a lot of other work to do in order to get there. But let's start here. Let me open your mind. Let me wake your dream back up to show you the possibilities that you have and that you can do in order to even make this happen. People are online. I think it's by the year 2025, 1 in 7 individuals will have some type of online income coming in.
Oh,
Well, there's a
wow.
lot of people that are still not having any type of online income. So I'm like, let me show you individuals how to do this. It's
Right.
out here. And it's not like 10 years ago when we first got on before the internet. We were freaked out and scared about it. Like everybody's online now. So take advantage of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent. So beyond, is there more you've talked a bit about kind of what's lighting you up about your business and about being on a mission to help people and all of that. Is there something, is there a bigger why behind it, or have we covered that?
Well, yeah, you just heard it. My thing of travel. That was
That's
my
why.
first and foremost, was to get I wanted my kids to be able to have their own stories of seeing the world with their own eyes. And then I traveled a lot before my husband. My husband traveled a lot before me. We traveled together as a couple. And we said we wanted our kids to be able to see more than we saw when we were little, because we didn't grow up with being able to travel and everything like that. And my husband and I end up having similar stories, that he read a lot about traveling and I read a lot about these places, and I was always trying to get out of where I grew up. I was like, there's a big world out there. So when we had the kids, we wanted to be able to share the world with them, but then enjoy seeing what they see through their eyes, because it's nothing magical than to see the world through children's eyes.
Yes, and what a gift you're giving them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
that is so amazing, so awesome to be able to do that for your family. Like,
Yeah, and I want that for all families. I mean, even if I can get you out I always say, on a staycation. Just get out of your house this week with your family, and I want you to go to a hotel and just take time out and enjoy each other. Enjoy each other, because I think we're at a time where we're not really aware of how much time that we're absolutely losing. So I want to get on a standpoint of making people become more time rich. You know, money
yes.
money is there and money can happen and you can create money, but where is your time? That's something we can't pay for and it's something that we can't get back. So how can I help you become time rich? How can I help you? And everyone's financial freedom is different. So that's why I don't harp on, let's make this much, because, hey, you've given me the number. We can break the number down and I can figure out how we can get to that number. But what is it that is in your heart? Mm-hmm. What do you truly want for you and your family, and where do you want to be? What's your final destination? And let's get you there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. So throughout this whole conversation, you've brought you to it. You are very you, just in conversation. Is there something about the way you do business that you've specifically decided, okay, everyone else is doing it this way, and I'm going to do it this other way?
I think so. And I think I learned that last week from a podcast that I was on, another one. And one of the things that I have been really looking at is social media itself. After this summer, we traveled to 5 different countries. Mm-hmm. And before I went on travel, I was testing out different platforms, because that's another thing that you have within me. I am a tester. I will test and look at the strategies and all of this. And when I returned back, I said, I'm going to unplug. And that is kind of why my personal page is a little bit more bare. So you saw my last travel post there, and I redirected people because I wanted to unplug from my personal, so I can really dive into some strategy and some projects that I wanted to do. I was still doing, of course, working with the clients and their social media, but I wanted to really pull back and think about social media on another level, because there's so much information out here. It's like information overload. And then I see everybody saying, follow this strategy, do this social media thing, post this many times a day, do this. And with your business, it's like, when do I have time? I need to multiply myself times 10, right? So I help individuals come up with this automation and really trying to really pull back so that you do free up yourself, so you feel like you are you times 10. But I said, what is social? And I started thinking, you know what? Social media, it's called social, but it's really not social. I feel like, Patty, you and I doing this right now, we are more social because we're talking and we can talk back and forth. Social media has become a point where we're just talking at each other. And it's not really, they like to say the engagement, but the engagement is not working. And there is different strategies you can do for engagement. And yes, this is part of my business and what I do. However, I wanted to really say, stop going after the masses and let's target. Yes. So I really started switching up things a lot and really playing with things a little bit. And last week, going back to that podcast, he was like, I think that you're doing something totally different. I was like, you know what? Maybe I coined it, I don't know, but I'm doing more of social searching. And what I mean by that is individuals really making sure that you have your website down pat. Okay, because a lot of us do not have our websites where they're supposed to be. It cannot be a brochure online. It cannot be a business card online. There's a lot of stuff under the hood, and that's where I go under. I go under your hood like I'm working on a mechanic working on your car. I'm looking at all of this because I want to attach it all, because it's called the World Wide Web. We forgot about that. So I'd like to web everything together and not really push to be social first. I push to get your website first, because that's your real estate. Let's get that good, so then we can brand on those socials, and then everyone on the socials, they search back, but the goal is to land back on your real estate property.
Yes.
So I'm going about it a whole different way. Now, I'm not saying that we don't do social. Yes, we do, because we would not be smart not to be on social and doing that the right way. But I say, let's work smart and make sure that we've got our real estate. Our real estate is our website. You know, Facebook.com belongs to Mark. Okay.
Exactly.
Your me.com belongs to you. So I'm an advocate of you, and I'm making sure that we got you all set up and you are ready to go. So then when we brand over on Mark's, website, which is fantastic. We're able to track individuals that come to our website. We're able to go back and target them. We're going back and forth. And Facebook is not the only one. You've got Instagram and you got Pinterest. You got all of these, which my favorite has really now today has become Pinterest. So I've really been working with clients and driving traffic and increasing their traffic, things like that from different platforms.
Right. But driving it all back to the website.
All
Because
back to the
that's
website.
what you can own. It's yours.
That is yours. That is what you own. And let's make sure that real estate is like your house. You wouldn't let your house run down. You want to make sure that your website is running properly and everything is going on. You wouldn't let water start leaking all over the house. So let's not let your visitors and your leads leak all out of the house. Let's make sure they stay on your website and you're capturing them on your email list and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes me so sad sometimes when I see people expend all of their energy on social media and they have nothing of their own. And it's like, Facebook might not be a thing in 10 years. We don't know. We've seen these people come and go.
Yeah, and the scary part about this is there's a lot of control on that one website. And I see individuals doing beautiful posts. So once you become a client, I look to pull all those posts off and put it back on your website.
Exactly.
But if you really long form post it, I'm like, that would have been a great blog post or something for you on your own real estate. For Google to start searching, and Google would have found it and then brought more people back to your website. So it's a whole cycle that's there. But the scary part about that is Facebook, I have known people that they have taken their personal profile or taken their groups, so they have rules. So anytime you do something, and some people don't even know they did the wrong thing on Facebook, and then they're shut down. And that's all of your contacts. That's everything that's only on there. So that's the scary part of it for me. And so that's one of the things that I look at. And when we do a social media analysis and we do a website analysis as well, one of the first things I look at is your social media layout as well as your website layout.
Yeah. So important.
Yeah.
Excellent. So advice.
Yeah.
There's something that you learned. Is there something, if you could get in a time machine and go back in time and talk to yourself when you were just starting out, is there some piece of advice you would like to give yourself?
Stop listening, everybody.
Oh, that's awesome advice. I love that.
No, I think the biggest part about that is I was so eager at that time. And I think that's a story of a lot of people. And what you start doing is you start, going this direction or that direction instead of just really mapping out where you want to be, and then go after the right individuals that fit into where you want to be. Because if you don't have that mapped out, you will be scattered all over because it's just so big. The internet is gigantic. And even if you click on this, you're already now in somebody else's vision world that you didn't want to be in. And then you're like, because their sales were so good. And then you're wrapped up in there and then you've purchased a course or whatever. And then later, 3 weeks later, you're like, why did I even purchase this course? Or you didn't even start the course. You're like, that wasn't even what I wanted to do. So I say, map everything out, reflect on your last year. Reflect on everything that was good, because a lot of times we focus so much on what was not good and everything that we lost. I'd say go reflect on your last year, starting today, because don't do New Year's resolutions. I'm like totally not this person. I'm always like, where am I today and where am I better and where was I not good? I want to be better in the not good area. But reflect on this last year from today. Are you where you want to be? If not, look at what you did great and what you liked, and then build on that. Build on that and collect wins on that. Collect those small wins, because those small wins are what make big wins.
Exactly. Yeah. It builds up over time. It's not like this instant jackpot thing that a lot of people are expecting or being promised.
Exactly.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. You You were so much fun to interview. I really, really,
Uh,
really appreciate you being here, Tequila. This is awesome.
Thank you so much, Patty. I really enjoyed it. And if I could give a gift to individuals, I would love that if you don't mind.
Gift away.
Yeah.
where can
Well,
we
like what
where can we get gifts and
well, what I just talked about is like really that mapping phase and looking at your last year to really start reflecting on what it looked like and what wins did you have. And I kind of put a little bit of a map of how I kind of got started on the path of this, and to also really start thinking about how you can start generating some income. Because even if you feel like I don't even have money to start, because starting online with a business is one of the easiest and I think the most least expensive ways to start a business. You know what? I know it is.
yeah.
So I mapped out how you can go about doing that. But if you're not yet ready, I mapped out how you can start putting some more money in your pocket, because that's what I did in the beginning. So we could start our like staycations and travel. But I put all that together, and you can go to tequiladodard.com. It's tequila as in, yes, the drink. And Dodard, DODARD.com/gift.
Okay. And it'll be posted. So it's under, beside, or somewhere on this page where you see the video.
Exactly.
I will have the link right to the gift.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, thank you, Patty, so much. I've enjoyed being here on your show. And as I always say, you know, stand out, be you, and you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for being my guest, Tequila. And thank you for watching and tuning in. And if you enjoyed this interview, you can visit my website at pattykay.com for more. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.